participants will be there. But I'm happy that it is only preponed, not postponed, because this is the time for preponement of many things. We have to prepone our future to today because of the current circumstances. Especially in the startup and innovation, we have to do the prepone very urgently. In fact, I think iDEX has done that prepone, that forecasting, and made the future, preponed the future for today. That's what iDEX has done. We are all thinking about indigenization, innovation, entrepreneurship because of the boiling borders and the pandemic, which is sweeping across our country and the world. But before that, years back, iDEX has thought about indigenization, innovation, entrepreneurship, and making a self-reliant defense infrastructure in the country. And in that sense, I think iDEX has created history. This is the context in which we are today unveiling the Defense India Startup Challenge 4th edition here at Meghalaya. When we talk about people who has created history, who has forecasted future, I want to mention about a distinguished personality who is present over here. Few years ago, there was a small newspaper article about Make a Village in Times of India. And the next day, I got a call from CSO Tech Southern Naval Command about his CNC instructed him for an engagement with Maker Village for creating a defense innovation ecosystem together with Southern Naval Command in this part of the world. So from a small piece of newspaper article, a person has forecasted the future, and now we are seriously engaging with Southern Naval Command on a series of projects. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very happy to welcome Vice Admiral Anil Kumar Chawla, PVSM, AVSM, NM, VSM, ADC, the Flag Officer, Commanding in Chief, Southern Naval Command for today's event. When I am talking about iDEX created future, iDEX preponed future, I want to introduce you another distinguished personality who is the fuel and the engine behind the iDEX movement, who has put fire on the startup landscape of the country with his passion and perseverance. Ladies and gentlemen, let me welcome Sri Sanjay Jaju, IAS, Additional Secretary, Defense Protection, to this evening. In fact, Jaju Sahab got promotion as Additional Secretary 2 days ago. I want to congratulate on behalf of all of you present, congratulate him. And also, I think this is an honor for the entire iDEX family. It is a recognition and acknowledgement. With his permission, consider this a recognition and acknowledgement towards the iDEX family. Welcome you, sir. Next, I want to introduce another person, another distinguished officer who is closely working with the innovation ecosystem over here. It's none other than Air Vice Marshal S. Ramakrishnan, Chief of Staff. In fact, he visited Mega Village last February and spent a whole day with the startups, around 40-50 startups. Yes. Those people with them, and he still closely following up the progress with them. I just want to give a word he always says: you should always pluck the low-hanging fruits first. I'm expecting him to give some tips on plucking low-hanging fruits today. Welcome you, sir. Few days ago, we had a chance to interact with another distinguished senior officer, none other than Major General K.V. Johar, Additional Director General, Army Design Bureau. I've seen a person who is brimming with, resonating with technology and innovation. With permission, all of you present here, it's my pleasure to welcome Director General, Army Design Bureau, Major General K.V. Johar to this gathering. I also want to welcome CSO Tech, Commodore Samir Agarwal and his team, senior officers from Army, Air Force, nodal officers from Thai Services, the MOD team led by Vivek, the Adult Innovation team, the ever-energetic iDEX team, the representatives from media, and all others who are present here. Last but not least, the real heroes of today's evening, who has already crossed around 120, the startups, the innovators who want to create a resurgent, resilient, rejuvenated country through bringing in innovation, entrepreneurship, indigenization into the defense landscape of the country through this iDEX framework. Thank you all. Now, with the permission of all of you, I would like to invite chief guest of today's evening, Admiral Anil Kumar Chawla, for his special address. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Balakrishnan Nair. I hope I am audible to everybody. Thank you very much for that introduction. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you. Shri Sanjay Jaju, Additional Secretary, Defense Production, Major Johar, ADG, Army Design Bureau, Air Vice Marshal Ramakrishnan, Assistant Chief of Air Staff, Shri Balakrishnan Nair, CEO of Maker Village. Most importantly, as Mr. Nair brought out, the young entrepreneurs of the esteemed startups who are present here today. It's a delight to be here at this event. Mr. Nair mentioned that when I first saw this article in the paper, it was immensely exciting to know that somebody in Kochi is involved in innovation, and we immediately decided as a Southern Naval Command to associate with them so that we could progress our indigenization initiatives closer afield, as we have been doing with several other industries in Coimbatore, Bangalore, Hyderabad, etc. The Maker Village, in the very short period that it has been in existence, has made huge strides. I think this is a testimony to the large pool of talent that is available particularly in Kerala, particularly in software and related fields. And I think the number of patents that they have taken out, the number of products that they have made is extremely heartening to note. And I'm sure that as time goes on, they will be up to the India Startup Challenge, which was launched by the Honorable Minister of Defense on the 29th of September, with the 11 challenges from the armed forces that have been listed out, which indeed are a cross-section of requirements of the armed forces. As far as the SNC is concerned, in the short while that we have been associated with them, we have found a number of innovations that have been useful for us in the maritime field. One point of note has been the air quality meter, which was something that's very encouraging, which indicates a level of carbon dioxide in the compartment, in a continuous manner. And we are in partnership with them to introduce this on board our ships. We have also taken up specific projects for new generation signaling projectors for our ships, for optical surveillance system, for our fast interceptor craft, as also the indigenous manufacture of automatic identification system sets, which is something that can be easily done in our country and which has got a huge market as well. We are also looking at anti-drone drones to be produced in collaboration with the Maker Village, and so we have ourselves given them a large number of projects, and I'm sure that we will definitely reach somewhere with most of them. The 70 defense deep tech startups from across the country and the 9 projects in the Tri-Service and the iDEX framework are getting accelerated at the Maker Village. And as I mentioned earlier, the Maker Village has the potential to become a defense innovation hub for the entire country. And we are fully supportive of this venture of indigenization. As most of you are aware, the Indian Navy has been a pioneer in defense indigenization. We built our first warship in the early 1960s, and since then we have built over 100 sophisticated warships. In fact, the largest warship building project in the history of India, which is the aircraft carrier INS Vikrant, is currently at an advanced stage of construction right here. I can see it from my chair as I speak to you across the channel, and a large amount of work has been done by the MSMEs and SMEs across the country, but particularly in Kerala, to support the construction of this ship, which has achieved a very high level of indigenization. As far as the Navy is concerned, we divide our indigenization efforts into 3 large components: the float, move, and the fight component. The float component of a ship, we have largely achieved our indigenization goals. It is in the move and float that there exists considerable scope to enhance this scope, that is to the Indian designed and built engines and of course the weapons and sensors. We're also, with the cooperation of the DRDO, particularly the 3 naval laboratories that are under the DRDO, we have made considerable progress. You're also aware that the Indian Navy's indigenization plan for 2015 to 30 is available in the open domain and is designed to enable the indigenous development of equipment and systems by being very transparent about our requirements. And this we have done in collaboration with the DRDO, so that we are all on the same page. And I'm sure that once this plan is looked at closely by all the innovators, in particular the young people that are present here, I would urge you to look at this plan. It's available on the net. It would encourage you and get your thinking caps on to produce more items indigenously with even greater innovation and efficiency than is present today. The efforts at indigenization, in our experience, in the Navy's experience, comprise a variety of steps that need to be taken. One is, of course, what we are doing now, the encouragement of in-house innovation, the encouragement to in-house SMEs, MSMEs, the collaboration with the DRDO and the 3 services to apply their minds onto developing the products that we need. But also at the higher level, at the governmental level, I think we still need to take some more steps to supplement the financial and contractual reforms so that we modernize them in line with the best practices across the world. One simple example for many years, of course, the single vendor approval in cases where an individual or a company has patented or produced something, so that there is an encouragement to do further R&D and to produce the item further, rather than immediately throwing it open to the multi-vendor process. This is something I think at the governmental level we need to work at. It is being followed in all the advanced Western societies. There is a method to do this also. And I think once we do that, then the sustainability of the indigenization will be better, particularly in areas where the minimum order quantity is limited. As far as the Southern Naval Command is concerned, as I mentioned earlier, we have been playing a very active role in indigenization, both in shipbuilding as also in aviation. We have a number of items that we have indigenized. A large amount of money has been saved for the exchequer by these indigenization efforts at the subcomponent and the component levels, not only through now through Maker Village, but also through the MSMEs of Kerala, as also Codicea, which has played an important role, particularly in the aviation sector, as also initiatives with various industries in Bangalore. We also have a dedicated indigenization cell that has been set up in the command, both for ship component indigenization as also the aircraft component indigenization. And I'm sure that the presence of the Maker Village will further encourage us to be more ambitious and larger in a scope for indigenization than we have been able to do so far. The other requirement for successful indigenization is the development of an ecosystem of small and medium scale industries, the MSMEs and SMEs that I talked about. And this is what we have seen in shipbuilding, that when you start building ships in India, then a variety of industries come up which produce small things like pumps, alternators, even nuts and bolts. To that extent, this is vital for the progress of indigenization to build up this ecosystem. And I think the efforts that we are doing now is building up that ecosystem, which can then lead up to more complicated systems like an entire aircraft or an entire submarine, etc. The Navy, as you are aware, also has had its own design bureau for over half a century now, and that has made immense strides. The indigenous aircraft carrier has been designed by them, as also a variety of other ship and submarine projects. And I'm glad to see that the Army also has followed suit with their design bureau, and I'm sure they too will make substantial progress in the years ahead. On this occasion, I would like to assure Maker Village and all present here of the Southern Naval Command's unfailing commitment and priority to indigenization and indigenous development. And we will spare no effort to ensure that the Maker Village in particular, which is close to us physically and to our hearts also, will continue to be supported, and we'll continue to interact with them. And I'm sure that in the days and years ahead, we will achieve substantial progress. And I wish all the young innovators, in particular, the young entrepreneurs present here, as also the Maker Village, all happiness and all success in the months and years ahead. And as rightly brought out by Mr. Nair, we need to prepone things. So let's work at warp speed and get things going. We are with you, and we will keep encouraging you, giving you projects, and supporting you in every way that's possible. Thank you very much. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Encouraging words. We will be close to your hearts, not even if you are physically away, close to your hearts always. Thank you, sir. Now I invite our Honorable Additional Secretary, Defense Production, who is as I mentioned, the fuel and engine behind the iDEX movement, for these words. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nair. Am I audible, Mr. Nair?
Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Like to greet and acknowledge Mr. Chawla, Mr. Johar, and all the distinguished guests and friends from the startup community. At the outset, let me first thank Makers Village for hosting this very important event, and we're extremely grateful to Makers Village for not just creating a startup ecosystem for our country, but actually also starting to play a very important role in furthering the objective that we have laid out as part of our iDEX program. Friends, you are aware, Honorable Prime Minister launched Innovations for Defense Excellence in the DEF Expo that was held in Chennai 2 years back. And over the last 2.5 years, we have made sufficient progress in terms of launching the Defense India Startup Challenges. We've launched 3 rounds of challenges so far, and the current round, the Defense India Startup Challenge, fourth round is what is happening right now. And this is where we are trying to talk to you and bring you into this bandwagon. iDEX was conceptualized with a view to bring startups close to the defense problems. I think, friends, all of you are aware that there are many technologies and products that have actually emanated from defense. If you look at the examples of United States and Israel, but if you see the trends over the last 20 years, the reverse technology shift is happening. There are a lot of innovations happening in the commercial space, and it's definitely an imperative that we create mechanisms to bring in these innovations into the defense ecosystem. And I think that's where this whole process of establishing a bridge between the startups and the defense establishment was felt. And that's how iDEX Innovations for Defense Excellence was conceptualized. And when I see the work that we could do with the help of all of you over the last 2.5 years, I really feel very enthused and I'm extremely delighted and privileged to have played a part in this entire journey of iDEX along with all of you. Let me give you a few stats. We have run 3 rounds of challenges, 18 challenges. We've identified 58 winners. We've done some contracts. We have done contracts with close to 37 of the 37 startups right now. And there are many startups which are at advanced stages of prototype development. And we expect that over the course of next 6 to 9 months, we should be having a lot of products coming out of the startup ecosystem as part of iDEX, and that should start serving the needs of the Indian Defense Forces. We have also tried to bring iDEX as one of the mechanisms for defense procurement. Now it's part of the defense acquisition procedure. The product that are being developed as part of the iDEX process have an opportunity to be procured under the defense acquisition procedure, and a provision of lateral entry has been created for all the iDEX projects. Now we have come up with the 4th round of Defense India Startup Challenge. There are 11 challenges that we have put out. And in our understanding, these are slightly stiffer ones in comparison to what we had earlier. And the whole idea and the objective was that we have already covered some distance now. We are seeing the energy and the enthusiasm of these startups. And it's time that we start scaling our ambitions and aspirations up. And that's what we have tried to do with these challenges. But going by the response that we are getting through all these outreach events that we are conducting with the help of our partner incubators, I'm fairly confident that we're going to get a very wholesome response to the challenges that we have put out. Another illuminating facet about the iDEX ecosystem has been the partnerships and collaborations, and I think the team spirit. And it's quite evident here. You have members of the services. I mean, after all, when we put out these challenges, when we expect the startups to give us solutions, the ultimate objective is to meet the needs of our armed forces. Obviously, export is another imperative that we look at, but the real requirement has to come from our services. And I'm very happy that our services are playing a major role. And I'm pretty confident that the challenges now that have been put out by the services will be receiving equal patronage, and will ensure that the learnings that we have made out over the last 2.5 years, we try and bring those learnings into the iDEX system, so that we enhance the ease of interactions that you have with DIO and iDEX. At the same time, ensure that the product that you make is suitable and it's fixed into the requirements of our armed forces. So friends, nothing much to say. I can only say that I'd like to exhort all of you to join this bandwagon. become part of the iDEX community. And I'm sure you will love this experience. As I keep saying, and I'll like to reiterate, this is not a R&D grant that we are giving out of iDEX. We don't look at it as a product support grant. The funding is only one part of our association within iDEX. In fact, it's an opportunity for you to create sustainable business enterprises. And that's our dream. In fact, in the morning, one of our iDEX startups had come to the ministry and had met our secretary. And our secretary was very pleased that, one of these startups actually said, I want to become the Lockheed Martin of India in the next 10 years. And this is what I think the iDEX entails doing. We want startups to make use of the opportunity that's coming your way. Start creating technologies, developing products which you could not just use for military purposes, but around these products, you could even build civilian applications, not just manufacture for India, but manufacture for and produce and market to the rest of the world. So my best wishes to all of you. My thanks to the organizers. And I'm sure next few minutes, you will find greater details about the challenges that our services have put out. And I'm sure they are available today to answer to your queries and mitigate any of your concerns that you have. So once again, my thanks to all of you for making this event a great success. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The roadmap which you have shown about the iDEX and your words about sustainable enterprises from these startups. I'm sure that there are around 127 startups participating as of now. So let's hope that 127 Lockheed Martin is coming out of this iDEX program. And also, we take note of your elaboration regarding collaboration and partnerships and creating new enterprises and learning from the learnings of the past. Thank you very much, sir. Now, we will play a short video on Maker Village before we proceed further.
मेकर विलेज एक हार्डवेयर स्टार्टअप इनक्यूबेटर है जो इलेक्ट्रॉनिकी और इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी मिनिस्ट्री और इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन टेक्नोलॉजी एंड मैनेजमेंट केरला तथा केरला स्टार्टअप मिशन की भागीदारी से लेकर आए हैं।
Thank you for listening. Now I invite a distinguished officer who we consider as our own, very close to our ecosystem and very close to us. Air Vice Marshal S. Krishnan, Assistant Chief of Staff, Maintenance Plans, for his special address.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
I hope.
It is okay now.
Flag Officer Commanding Southern Naval Command, distinguished dignitaries, officials of Maker Village, participants from various startups, and other distinguished guests, a very good afternoon to you. I am extremely happy to be called upon today to speak a few words during the launch of the 4th edition of Defense India Startup Challenge, or DISC 4 as it is abbreviated, which is a part of the iDEX scheme of the Ministry of Defense. Over the last 2 years, the iDEX scheme has triggered and enhanced the participation of startups in accepting challenges thrown up by the 3 services in development of innovative solutions for their problem statements. As already covered by Mr. Prasad Nair, 3 rounds of DISC have already been fielded by iDEX, and the winners are declared for respective projects. Out of the projects proposed in the previous challenge, 4 went from the Indian Air Force. The projects already being pursued include electro-optic payload for remotely piloted vehicles, GPS anti-jam device, countermeasure system against illegal drones, and portable emitter emulator. Based on the competitions that were held previously, a total of 10 startups were declared winners, and they are already engaged in the development of these projects. In this edition of DISC 4, Indian Air Force has projected 3 projects, namely super resolution techniques for improving spatial resolution, artificial intelligence based prediction and forecasting of atmospheric visibility, and thirdly, remote real-time in-flight health monitoring of aircrew. I'm confident that many of the startups or individual participants present today will evoke interest in these projects and come forward to take up the innovation challenge. The ongoing COVID pandemic may have created a few challenges, but I am sure that this added COVID challenge would be taken up as an opportunity to contribute to the call of our Honorable Prime Minister for Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. I am also happy to note that this edition of DISC is being hosted by Maker Village Kochi. which is one among the 9 partner incubators of iDEX scheme. As already mentioned by Mr. Prasad, I recall my visit with a delegation from the Indian Air Force to Maker Village in February this year. Even though several modern machinery had just arrived at that time and were under the process of installation, we were quite impressed with the facilities, largest electronics hardware incubator and design facility of our country. You have seen the short video right now in which a few of the facilities were shown. What I could recollect are a very well-equipped IoT lab, prototyping and development facilities, measurement and testing equipment, CNC metal machining equipment, a 3D printing farm, and a super fab lab, to name a few. These high technology prototyping facilities make Maker Village a significant partner in developing indigenous solutions to the requirements of the armed forces. As such, 2 startups of Maker Village umbrella, that is HW Design Labs and iSenses, are already engaged in the Indian Air Force projects of iDEX. Indian Air Force is fully aligned with the national agenda of Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and we have already embarked in mission mode for achieving this mandate. While innovation of new products are being progressed through schemes such as iDEX, I would like to take this opportunity to highlight that indigenization of spares and development of in-house technology for maintenance, repair, and overhaul of aggregates are key areas wherein ample opportunities are being fielded for participation by Indian industry, startups, and MSMEs. Just to update the audience, Indian Air Force has been pursuing indigenization in a very big way for the past 3 decades or so. That is to say, ever since the breakdown of the erstwhile Soviet Union. The Directorate of Indigenization of the IAF, which is based under me at Air Headquarters, has been formed by the 90s to foster indigenization and innovation. Recently, as mandated in the DAP 2020, IAF has also formed a Directorate of Aerospace Design. Over the years, we have indigenized nearly 50,000 lines of spares. To provide visibility of our recent requirements, data on the RFPs and RFIs of IAF indigenization projects posted on the Central Procurement Portal, or CPP, are additionally being hosted in the Indian Air Force website under Make in India, and it is visible to all, and it is being updated on a weekly basis. Since June this year, over 470 RFPs have been issued on indigenization requirements by various base repair depots and our central indigenization and manufacturing depot. And these details are available in the website. So in case if anybody is interested, I'll request the agencies to contact the respective BRD for taking it further. Various MOUs are also being finalized by IAF with agencies to strengthen our indigenization efforts. This also includes a MOU with Maker Village, for which a draft document is under finalization. Since I don't have much time allotted, I wish to conclude by saying that collaboration between the armed forces and Indian industries, including startups, in various avenues of innovation such as iDEX and DISC challenges, is a major step in nurturing an effective ecosystem for defense and aerospace in India. On behalf of the Indian Air Force, I wish to convey best wishes and success to Maker Village in DISC 4 and the forthcoming defense innovation challenges. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. There is some low-hanging fruits, especially the maintenance and overhauling areas for our startups. Some tips, as I expected. Thank you very much for you, sir, and all the best for your drive towards indigenization of our skies. Let me put it that way. Thank you very much. So we will play another video on the iDEX now.
क्या भारत ये सपना नहीं देख सकता कि हम दुनिया में स्टार्टअप की दुनिया में भारत नंबर 1 पर पहुंचेगा?
Dreams are going to manifest into reality. In April 2018, at DEF Expo, our Honorable Prime Minister launched the Innovations for Defence Excellence iDEX.
It will set up defense innovation hub throughout the country to provide necessary incubation and infrastructure support to the startup in defense area.
In a very short span, the country is ready with a framework that supports and promotes innovations from startups, MSMEs and individual innovators. Ministry of Defence, Government of India unveils today a package of initiatives. Spark, support for prototype and research kickstart in defence, framework for iDEX partners, promotion of startups under Make-II procedure of DPP 2016, exchange of MOUs with anointed incubators. For the first time in the country, in principle approval for Suo-Moto proposal under Make-II and launch of 11 challenges under iDEX. These initiatives not only offer huge opportunities for the startups of our country, but also help India realize its vision of self-reliance in defense productions.
Hope that has given an overall view of the iDEX framework. Now, I would like to invite Additional Director General, Army Design Bureau, Major General K.V. Johar for his special address. As I mentioned in my remarks, he is presiding over innovation, entrepreneurship, indigenization for Army at Army headquarters at his capacity as ADG, ADB. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Thank you very much, Mr. Balakrishnan and Makers Village for giving me and Army Design Bureau this opportunity. Vice Admiral Anil Chawla, Flag Officer, Commanding-in-Chief, Southern Naval Command. Sir, it's a privilege to be on the platform with you. Shri Sanjay Jaju, Additional Secretary, Defense Production. Our compliments for taking iDEX to such niche levels. And of course, also best wishes in your new chair. Air Vice Marshal S. Ramakrishnan, Assistant Chief of Air Staff. And of course, the raison d'etre of our presence here today, that is the young, I believe now over 127 startups and young entrepreneurs on this platform today. Greetings to all of you from the Indian Army. It is indeed an honor and a privilege to be part of this outreach event, to be able to reach out to all the startups, innovators, the MSMEs, in order to facilitate your active participation in the newly launched challenges under Defense India Startup Challenge, that is DIS4. The recent initiatives under the visionary Make in India and the Atal Innovation Mission have been great enablers in the Indian Army's quest to achieve self-sufficiency in the defense equipment. And iDEX under the DIO has emerged as a front runner, establishing the right kind of connect with the startups and the innovators to gain substantial traction in the defense startup community. On behalf of the Indian Army, the Army Design Bureau is a single point contact as far as iDEX is concerned, and has been facilitating iDEX in achieving its aim of enabling co-creation and co-innovation between users and innovators, including the startups, by continuously hand-holding throughout the development of the project. So there are about 4 challenges or problem statements pertaining to the Indian Army, which were launched as part of DIS 1 and 3. And we have about 14 winners who have been selected to take part in that. Interestingly, as part of Open Challenge 1.0, the other day I had sat through about 9 hours of listening to some amazing solutions being offered to the Indian Army. I wish I could have taken all of them together with me. But what I did was we selected about 3 of them. And not only that, the rest who had some ready products, I have already reached out to the various field formations to see if they have any utility of those so that they can be straight away picked up off the shelf. So I think that's a great step that iDEX has achieved in achieving self-sufficiency for the armed forces. Well, Army Design Bureau actually not only for iDEX, it is also hand-holding startups and MSMEs through the Technology Development Fund and our own Army Technology Board also. And we have about over 10 to 14 projects in each, ranging from exoskeletons to logistic drones to AI projects, which are currently ongoing. So there's some amazing work happening, some amazing solutions being offered to the Indian Army, and the Design Bureau has been at the forefront of it. Now, all these startups and innovators are in the process of obviously the latest state-of-the-art solutions for the challenges posed by the Indian Army, especially the kind of terrain we operate in. The challenges are amazing. You may be able to fly a drone with 60 kilos of payload at Kochi, but it's really not going to be possible when you are talking of areas of high altitude, where the same drone wouldn't even be able to take off. So there are tremendous amount of dynamics, and that is why we in the Army Design Bureau always reach out to the startup community that right from the start, from the inception of your idea, probably we can be with you all through so that you develop your systems, your solutions based on the actual requirement of the user upfront in the field. We also organize a lot of visits in case anybody wants to get a first-hand feel of how the terrain, the weather, the operations would impact the development of a solution. Feel free to reach out to us. And I can assure you that we shall ensure that you get that feel, get that experience to assist you. We are looking at a lot of solutions in individual armor protection, next generation communication, stealth surveillance platforms. And these challenges are there already as part of the iDEX. And what we have done is not only we had nominated a nodal officer, we have seen the potential that it has. And through our Army Training Command, with the blessings of the Army Commander, we have been able to establish a procedure that the nodal officers now would actually be from the training establishments of that domain per se. So therefore, not only would you be interacting with a person who's knowledgeable about that particular domain, but also have the infrastructure with him to assist you in trials and your other procedures. Now, as far as DIS 4 challenges are concerned of the iDEX, the DIS 4 was launched by the Honorable Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh on 29th of September, out of which 2 challenges, we wanted many more, posed by the Indian Army as part of DIS 4 were selected. That is the artificial intelligence-based satellite image analysis and a foliage penetration radar. Now, with the success of DIS 1, 2, and 3 and initiatives like this, we are very sanguine that there will be increased participation from the startups and individual innovators in DIS 4 challenges, and we would get some state-of-the-art innovative solutions fully made in it. Another great initiative which we have taken up in a major way on behalf of the DIO is the iDEX for 4G, which was launched along with DIS 4. And there we intend at harnessing the first-hand experience of the service personnel who would be able to provide realistic inputs on problems and challenges faced, and of course, a great source of fresh and creative ideas, not only to improve our existing platforms and equipment, but also for futuristic ideas. Now, after identification of these deserving ideas, we would be issuing them as challenges under iDEX, and startups will again be invited to develop them into solutions. We also have our in-house ideas and innovations competitions, which are organized at various levels, wherein we handhold and extract the ideas of service personnel, which also would be a great source for iDEX for 4G. And I'm quite sure that you and I can partner into that domain too in the near future. I've had the opportunity to interact with a number of incubation centers and startups there. In fact, Only last week we interacted with Makers, one of the startups at Makers Village, which is incubating there. And the quality of solution being proposed gave me tremendous confidence in the technical prowess of these startups and the ability for them to deliver solutions. And the environment being provided at Makers Village is absolutely world class. I wish I could shift my office to Makers Village. That's the kind of environment that we see developing there. And it would be my endeavor to witness firsthand the path-breaking work undertaken by the young entrepreneurs at Makers Village and the other incubation centers. And as the intended user of the products under development, I assured the Makers Village, and in particular, and the complete startup community, the MSMEs, the innovators, and even young college students, that we at the Army Design Bureau on behalf of the Indian Army are equally committed to your efforts of providing effective, efficient, and indigenous solutions. The iDEX is providing a special effort required for reaching out and engaging with all of you. It has given us the flexibility and adaptability. And the Army Design Bureau will continuously ensure relentless effort to assist all of you. We are looking at Atmanirbhar Bharat, and I think one of the great engines to reach that destination are you. And our journey with you has just begun, but I can assure you that I intend to make it worth our while totally. And my compliments to all of you. I'm quite sure that in the near future, we shall be interacting much more. As I said, our journey has just begun. So thank you very much. Our compliments to all of you, and Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Our journey has just begun. And your comment on shifting your office to Maker Village, most welcome. Let's together create the Atmanirbhar Bharat by working together, collaborating together. And also we take your input on synchronizing with the user requirements. When they are innovating, experience the user requirement and then innovate. We also take that point very seriously. Thank you very much, sir. Look forward. And we will go for the last video, which is on DISC 4. The 11 challenges are narrated in the DISC 4 video.
Innovations for Defence Excellence, iDEX, launching the 4th edition of Defence India Startup Challenges. Autonomous underwater swarm drones. Naval mines are often positioned in turbulent or murky water to damage or destroy ships and submarines. A decentralized swarm of underwater drones equipped with advanced artificial intelligence and mine detection capabilities is required to reduce the risk and secure the ships and submarines from being damaged by the naval mines. Predictive, preventive, and prescriptive machine health monitoring system. A modern naval ship is fitted with several equipment and machineries such as radars, desalination systems, pumps, etc. for various in-ship operations. A modular IoT platform with multiple sensors shall be fitted to the naval machinery to continuously monitor their essential parameters. With the help of AI and machine learning, the platform shall be able to predict maintenance in advance, thereby preventing failure. Super resolution for aerial imagery. The sharpness and clarity of aerial images captured by reconnaissance and surveillance aircrafts and satellites are highly affected by sensor capability and atmospheric conditions. Often, the aerial images have low spatial resolution, making it difficult to identify patterns and objects in the image. There is a need to develop an algorithm which enhances the spatial resolution capable of working on aerial images of various resolutions, optical band and illumination conditions obtained from different sensors. AI-based satellite image analysis. Traditionally, the images from satellites are analyzed manually, making it impractical to accurately identify surface and aerial objects. With advanced AI-based automated image processing and classification methods, the images from the satellites need to be processed in real time for identification of troops, targets, and various surface patterns. Prediction and forecasting of atmospheric visibility. Flight routes and associated operations are planned based on environmental visibility. The conventional visibility forecasting is an inherently manual system with limited accuracy due to human interpretation. It is proposed to develop an automated tool using artificial intelligence for accurate prediction of real-time and location-specific visibility forecast. Computer-generated targets for virtual training. The weapons, avionics, and other equipment for air combat in modern fighter aircrafts are rapidly evolving. The pilot training tools and methods used by the armed forces require continuous upgrades to keep pace with the technology. There is a need to develop computer-generated target flights in flight simulators. The virtual targets learn from past flight data and are capable of making real-time in-flight decisions to train the pilots for more realistic air combat scenarios. Real-time health monitoring of air crew. Fighter pilots and flight crew must be in optimal health and fitness to handle the physical demand of modern aerial operations and warfare. In modern fighter jets flying at high altitude, the flight crew is subjected to extreme G-forces and have reduced oxygen. It is essential to measure and monitor the critical vital parameters of the air crew in real time and alert in case of acute and abnormal deviations. MFTDMA-based wideband SATCOM modem. In the battlefield, communication satellites play an important role in transferring critical battlefront and reconnaissance data. Traditional communications through satellites are slow and inefficient, making it impractical to transfer large data. The need of the hour is a next-generation satellite communication modem with high data rate, catering to the seamless transmission of large data, voice and video transmissions. Foliage penetration radar. The soldiers are highly vulnerable to unexpected enemy attacks in densely forested areas, grasslands and swamps. The traditional reconnaissance and target detection techniques fail to identify troops and objects in these dense terrains. The safety and preparedness of the troops can be increased multifold by the development of a foliage penetrating radar, which can be integrated into the night vision and surveillance devices. Reduction of RCS of naval warships. In designing a ship with reduced radar signature, the main concerns are radar beams originating near or slightly above the horizon, as seen from the ship coming from distant patrol aircraft, other ships, or sea-skimming anti-ship missiles with active radar seekers. Reducing the RCS of a naval ship enables its late detection, which is useful for capitalizing on elements of surprise. Target detection in chaff environment. Often, air and surface targets deploy shafts to confuse the detecting radar systems, which create a required time window for the targets to escape. The deployment of shafts also triggers false detection alarms. A primary shaft mitigation solution has to be developed, which reduces false alarms and sustained tracking of targets when shafts are deployed. Inviting startups, MSME, individual innovators, research and academic professionals to apply for DISC 4. Selected applicants will get grants up to 1.5 crores, along with the opportunity to co-create and co-develop the defense technologies of future with our armed forces. Besides the grant, selected winners receive product and business acceleration support from iDEX partner incubators, access to defense facilities for QA and certification. Applications are open at idex.gov.in. Innovations for Defense Excellence, iDEX.
Hope that has given an overview about the 11 challenges which is floated under this code. Now we are moving to the interaction session, which will be the most interesting and however, we are actually running short of time. So what we do is we try to attend maximum 4 questions. But having said it, we have followed the definitely answer this time. All the we have got a basket of. Am I audible? Am I audible? Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Am I audible?
Yes, you are audible. Yes, you are audible, sir.
Okay. Okay. So the first question is, considering the pandemic and travel restrictions, all startups can find ways to engage online with nodal agencies moving forward.
Aslam, sir, would you like to answer it? We have nodal officer from the Air Force. Aslam, sir, would you like to answer it? Or shall I answer it?
Akhil Pratap, saying you can answer this question because the question was not audible. I mean, there's some problem with the voice.
Okay. So
there's a lot of background noise coming.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Prasad, sir, can you repeat the question?
I will repeat the question. Considering the pandemic and travel restrictions, how startups can find ways to engage online with nodal agencies moving forward?
Okay, so basically the situation, the current DISC 1 and DISC 2 startups which we are having, even the DISC 3 also I will include in this list. So our startups are facing this problem. So we periodically arrange the video conferences between the nodal officers and the startups. The software, it depends on the availability and the feasibility. So based on that, the video conferences are being organized. Apart from that, certain physical meetings are being also organized, keeping the social distancing norms and the other norms to prevent the spread of the pandemic in mind. So till now, we haven't received any complaint from any of our present startup regarding their interaction with the nodal agency.
Okay, the next one is there a single window or source of information to gain knowledge and develop the exposure on defense product quality standards and qualification procedures? Is there any single window for defense quality standards and qualification procedures for these products?
Yes, the sources are available at this moment of time. But as far as the iDEX is concerned, we are basically collating this data. Many of our startups have moved very forward, and they are into the phase where their product will need a lot of testing, and also they are in a stage where we can say that their production prototype is almost ready. So considering that thing in mind, the iDEX is collating that thing, and very soon this kind of information will be available on the iDEX website. But for the time being, if for the specific requirements of the startups, the startup will be assigned a program director or program executive, so they can share their information with us, and based on the requirement, we will connect them with the concerned authority, who will support them in getting the exact knowledge about the to furnish their requirement.
Okay. Next one is, will the patent filed by the iDEX startup in pending status will be considered for bidding and serve defense purchase orders in future?
Yes, obviously. See, we have made it very clear that the intellectual property remains with the startup. The only request from our side, and this thing we have also covered in the contract, not be should not be provided to any of our neighbors or the countries. So keeping this in mind, let's say for example there is a startup, and it has a technology which is being used by the army, for example. And tomorrow, if the startup feels that okay, I can develop a product on this technology for the Navy, so in that scenario, the startup can definitely use its patent to develop the technology and for the Navy as well, and they can sell the product to both the forces.
Is there more information on the problem statements?
The information on the problem statement, basically currently the whatever information which we have provided, the intent behind that is to ensure that the startup comes up with the innovative ideas. Because if we'll provide more of the information, then all of them will try to align to a single path. But when we understand that the statements, the problem statement which we have given, they are not having the details. But when the startup will try to come up with the details and will try to propose it in HPSC, because our armed forces already know what they want, so the startups will be basically selected on that, keeping that thing in mind. And tomorrow, when we will have the suitable number of startups, the startups which have been selected after HPSC, we will provide them the PDS, that is the the product definition statement. In that particular document, we can say that all the details which they need to fulfill to make the production ready prototype, those will be available. You can take it as that this problem statement which you are having at present, it is just like a vision statement, that okay, this is something which we want. And when you will get selected by the HPSC, and when you will move forward in in your project, then the documents which you will get in the form of PDS, the problem definition statement, it will be like your mission statement. So your whole project will be divided into milestones, and in every milestone you will be asked to deliver some part of the final product. So this is how we are going to move forward. So details will be shared, but at present, whatever information is available, which we have already shared, you should come up with an idea keeping that thing in mind. This is you can say this is the outer contour of the product which we are looking for from the startups, and they have to use their own imagination, own thought process in making sure that how they can achieve this product.
This we can make this as the last one. It is more of a suggestion, or you can respond to this. It will be good if startups have a platform to book and use the resources of leading colleges and universities on a rental basis. This will mutually help the ecosystem also.
All these kind of suggestions are invited, and definitely in future, whenever we'll get the chance, we will definitely try to implement it. We are basically in the initial stage. Whenever we see the trajectory of any organization development, so we are in the initial stage. So at present, we are trying to fix the basics. So when obviously the basic infrastructure will be ready, so all those requirements from the and the suggestions from various startups, the students, these will definitely be taken care of. We have already started the internship program, which is also known as Innovate for Defense. So that internship program was also suggested by one of our innovators. So slowly, we are building up the things, and hopefully one day this requirement also will be fulfilled by us.
Thank you, Akhil. We are closing here. In fact, we are having around 50, 60 questions are with us. So we will definitely answer all those questions in a day's time with the support of nodal officers and the iDEX officers. But because of the paucity of time, we are closing the introduction section.
Our nodal officer from Air Force, Wing Commander Parvez Aslam sir, is here with us. So definitely, I understand that there is a lack of time. We have the time constraint is there, so obviously we cannot answer all the technical questions. But yes, any question related to Air Force, you can share with us. We will forward those questions to him, and we'll try to answer most of them.
Okay, thank you. So now for voter thanks, I would invite Vivek Viramani, who is the Chief Operating Officer of DIO. Over to Vivek. Vivek, Vivek, it's not audible, Vivek.
Okay, I think he has some meeting. He already had some meeting going on.
Okay,
So
then you can
okay,
do it.
sir. Sure, sir. Sure, definitely. So first of all, I would like to thank all the dignitaries, all the senior officers, the flag officers from the armed forces, who took out some time from their very hectic schedule. And also, I would like to thank our host, Makers Village. Sir, last time we met in December, and you organized the outreach program for this three. And the feedback from my side is this time you have gone one step ahead. So the kind of arrangements you have made in these situation where there are lots of constraints, it's commendable. And also your the initial part of your speech, the about the preponement, it was quite impressive, and it was really great. And coming to the startups, so thank you very much all the startups who are present here. It was really great to see such a big strength from our startups, and I hope that we'll receive lots of applications from the south, from the Kerala. We have seen that there is a very huge enthusiasm among the startups who are located in the south, and we really welcome all of you. The distance and the time will never be a problem. The question about the meetings with nodal officers, you can rely on us that there will be no such delay, and the experience which you will have at iDEX, it will be really uh, memorable. Also, as our CEO Sri Sanjay Jadhav sir said, that the kind of environment which we aim to prepare, the grant which we are giving to the startups, it is not just for the product development or R&D grant. We basically are trying to make the enterprises. So it's my humble request to all the startups who will apply, that you come up with that mindset when you join the iDEX program. you should not take this grant as something that you completely rely on it. Try to make sure that this grant is just a subset of what all things you are going to do. This should be just a portion of just a portion of all the activities which you will do. And apart from grant, there are various other things in which we are going to support. We have lots of opportunities in which we provide you the exposure at the national and international level. Like recently, many of us were presented themselves in the DEF Expo in front of the Honorable Prime Minister. So there are lots of activities with the iDEX, the product development. And I would also like to thank all my nodal officers who are present here, the Aslam sir from Air Force. Thank you very much, sir, for coming here. And last but not the least, it was a wonderful event, and I hope that we'll receive a lot of applications from the startups who are present. And if you have any query, you can directly contact us. We are easily accessible on Twitter. We'll reply very quickly on your queries whatever you raise on Twitter or Facebook. Or in case you want to directly mail to us, you can write a mail to us on idexdio@ddpmod.gov.in. So this is our official email ID. You can reach to us, and hope to receive a lot of applications, and hope to meet you in the HPSC. Thank you very much.
We are about to close the event. Just to complement what Akhil's expression of gratitude, I would like to specifically mention the names of Vice Admiral Anil Kumar Chawla, Commanding in Chief Southern Naval Command, Additional Secretary Defense Protection Sanjay Jaju, Air Vice Marshal S. Ramakrishnan, Assistant Chief of Staff Maintenance Plans, Major General K.V. Jauhar, Additional Director General, Army Design Bureau, for their valuable time, presence, and patience for making this event a grand success. Thank you all. We are closing the event. Now the time for National Anthem.